Hi. I think that's how you say it in Norwegian. Hi. So it's really an honor for me to be here at the International World Conference hosted by Retretten in Nada, Norway. And as part of my job, I'm here to represent the United States and Canada. But I'm also in email contact with many, many people from around the world all the time. So I've met many people who are here. I look forward to meeting many more. And I just wanted to make a mention that one of the newest NADA organizations currently is from Tunisia. And the, So please don't be a stranger, introduce yourself to Monsef Aloui. He would really like to connect with as many people as possible to hear how people are doing NADA in different places. So I am originally from the former Yugoslavia, from Zagreb. I was born there. I lived there until I was 13 years old. And just before this conference, we did the first training, NADA training in Croatia. And the training happened in a coastal town of the peninsula called Istria, and the town is Rovinj. It's really beautiful. Just, you know, you should go there and visit. We received really generous donations for needles, for sleep mix tea, and so we distributed this to all the people we trained so that they can have this new skill, and they also have needles to use for the next maybe 3 to 6 months before they have to buy new ones. It's not so easy because acupuncture is not very established in Croatia, so there isn't an obvious way to buy needles. So we have to make sure they know how to do that. So there were 3 of us involved in making this training happen, myself, Lana Grobisic, and Kata Japunčić, and we're all 3 here today. Lana is my old neighbor from Zagreb. Our apartments were right next to each other. We could hear each other having a bath when we were little. And she got very, very interested in this at the last NADA conference in Austria, and she got trained then. Kata lives in Australia, but her father is from Croatia, and she hopes to begin providing NADA trainings in Australia. So this was a really wonderful collaborative effort to establish NADA not just in Croatia, but also beyond. We trained 4 people in Rovinj from an outpatient treatment program and from the center that works with the center that hosted us, that works with children with disabilities that may have been affected by mines. They may have amputations and things like that. So 2 people from that program are trained, and we hope they will work with children ongoingly who come there. We also gave 40 treatments to local people during our training. And I hope they start regular clinics now after we leave. And of course, now my thought is, well, when's the next training? Okay. This is not so simple because I live in Wyoming. If you know where Wyoming is, some people in the United States don't know where Wyoming is, but it's near Denver. It's a long way to Croatia. So this is going to take some time, but it's okay. That's how things go. So the hardest part in the planning for this training was how to adapt NADA in the context of Croatian programs and the social and cultural and political reality of that country. Even though I'm from there, I haven't lived there in more than 20 years. So, you know, how systems work in the United States, funding, service delivery, it's really distinct and different than any other place, and that's true for any country. Every country has its own reality. So it's impossible to know. It's impossible to plan a training to completely perfectly match how something works in another country. So my job becomes simply to share the spirit of nada, to share the skill, to teach people how to do this. And then I have the faith that they are going to take it and make it complicated within their own reality. But I don't need to give them that complexity. I just need to give them the skill. And when I was planning this training, I had a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, and it made me reflect on how remarkable it is that Nada's founder, Michael Smith, he did this over and over and over again, all over the world, for his whole life's work to introduce this. And he did it so successfully. I mean, we're all here because of all of his outreach work, and it's amazing that it worked. Yeah, it really, what it shows is that we can live and work in very different countries, very different contexts. But this spirit of nada, the recognition of the value of silence, the value of time for a person to be with oneself, the value of healing in community, it's the thread that connects all of us, and that's why we call ourselves the Nada family. So we are all part of a family together. I hope that you feel that way throughout this conference and this weekend. So in the United States and Canada, we represent a very diverse group of practitioners. This diversity spans race, ethnicity, age, professional and non-professional background. We were actually recently contacted by a very large association which represents medical professionals that work in integrative health. And they want us to act as a mentor to them on how to achieve greater diversity in their own organization. I was kind of shocked. But I believe that our greatest strength is that we value each person's life experience equally or more to their work experience and training. And I believe it is this that sets us apart and makes us such a vibrant and dynamic group. So we really need to harness this energy and bring greater acceptance for non-medical and non-acupuncturist NADA practitioners. If I was in the US, I might not be able to say that easily, but it's nice to be here to be able to talk about this. In the 31 states in the US and several Canadian provinces and still many countries worldwide, there is still a restriction on how to practice NADA for only physicians and acupuncturists. But more and more, we hear from NADA members in the US and Canada who want to introduce a legal or legislative exemption or allowance so that this treatment can be available to more people in need. Some of the US states include Maine, New Jersey, Alabama, California, and Ohio, and for in Canada, most recently, Quebec. But this is a really slow process, and an actual law change may be very many years away. I have learned to think and work for the long term, long term. Michael Smith has been really instrumental in helping me see the value of strategy and building connections and relationships that support this long-term vision. So, let us rise above our professional and turf differences that keep us separate. And let's come together to focus our attention on creating the possibility of nada, or hope, which is what that word means in Croatian. That is the ethical thing to do, and that is the human thing to do. Thank you.